And now a murderer, little Alex. A murderer.
Not true, sir. It was only a slight cold shock. She was breathing, I swear it.
I've just come from the hospital. Your victim has died.
You try to frighten me, admit so, sir. This is some new form of torture. Say it, brother, sir.
It'll be your own torture. I hope to God it'll torture you to madness.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? My name is Jack Siegel, and on the other screen is my good friend Tom Crescenzo. How's it going, Tom?
What's good, everybody? How we doing? I'm good.
All right.
Yeah,
How are you doing?
here and there.
Yeah.
It depends on it depends on the day. Like some days it's 4 times, some days it's 5 times, but at least one time I will think about killing myself.
Oh, well, that's nice. As long as you get to what about half a time of killing yourself? Just like
I'll think about it for half a time. Like you just for like a second, I'm like at work and I'm like, I wish I could just fucking take a pistol and hi, how you doing, miss? Like
you see that box cutter and you're like, what if I put my head through there?
I just see the fucking I just see the air packs and I'm like, what if I just suffocated myself with these? Like, what if I just deflated them all and wrapped them around my head and my manager found me a fucking lifeless husk twitching with nerves, just
like spazzing out. Do you have any quitting fantasies before we get into our topics? Do you have any good fantasies about quitting your job?
Quitting. I mean, it really depends what you're talking about because this job is a job where I wouldn't as much as I don't like it, I wouldn't necessarily want to burn the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had a job where I really hated it that much, I would want to come up with the craziest possible way to quit. I don't know what it would be, but it would have to be pretty damn good.
Just something in you ever see Wanted, where he in the movie he quits and he just tells his boss, he's like, fuck you, you fucking whore, piece of shit, motherfucker, and just walks out. But then it's like, well, now I'm not going to get a reference, so you're not thinking about your next step after that. That was not good planning.
I wouldn't even necessarily want to quit. I would want to quit a job, but my attitude would be if I'm quitting, they're all coming with me. So I would have to find a way to get everybody fired. So I would just spend a night breaking into the building and just planting cocaine underneath every single person's office, just in underneath all their desks and shit, just taped up really shitty, they were trying to hide it from a teacher or something, just blow. And then I'm just gonna call from a payphone, some suspicious person, I saw a weird package go into the building, and then just watch all of them get arrested. And then when I see my boss, I'll just be like, oh, by the way, I was gonna put in my 2 weeks anyway.
Now that I'm gone, you're gonna have to hire an entirely new staff. You're gonna have a lot of interviewing to be doing next week. Let's get into it though. I had just recently attended, I know you did this also recently, I attended my first ever virtual college graduation. It was my alma mater's graduation. I went because of my friend Nick. Remember Nick? He did stand-up once when we hosted that open mic. He was the guy who went on for a really short amount of time, and then he just left. Anyway. Yeah. No. But anyway.
Yeah, Nick from Jimmy Neutron. I remember
Nick,
guy.
That guy. Yeah, of course. Anyway, so I went there, and I gotta say, it was pretty awkward and weird, because you go on there, and you just hear the, it's it happens live, so it'll just be the dean of the school speaking, and just he gives the normal bullshit speak, and now, you're all gonna be great, successful people, and I wish you the best, and then they tag it off to the valedictorian, and he gives this whole spiel, and then he gives to the salutatorian, and they give their whole spiel, and then it just has somebody listing off the names of the people individually. But what was fun for me, yeah. But
how big was the school? Because my brother's graduation, there was a general graduation, and then his college had a grad. You know what I mean? His major had a separate graduation.
Well, yeah, that's
Or,
like a major college. My college, we only had like 5,000 students in total, so
oh,
it's not that big, and that's in the entire school.
true.
So,
I guess it depends on the school what it's like. It was weird for like and like like it's especially weird if it's like a relative of yours has you have to go to their graduation over like live stream. Like you're
yeah.
not even like we're not even leaving the house. Like I'm fucking like I'm putting on a suit and stuff because I want to look nice, but
Mhm.
like there's no reason for it. You know, it's literally just to fulfill the aesthetic. It's just like, yeah, this is what I would be doing if we were at a stadium right now.
See, that's weird that you put like because I didn't wear a suit. I'm like, I'm not getting dressed up for this.
I
And
mean, because you were just going to somebody's like,
yeah, it was well then yeah, it
yeah,
was your brother. It was
like
yeah,
it was my brother. Like, of course, I'm like we were. It was kind of fun in a way. Like there was. I'll say this: it was a great day overall because we had like family come by, whatever. But
Mhm.
it was the graduation was almost fun because it's like we could literally just effortlessly drink and like smoke. Like there was
Yeah.
nothing stopping me and my brother from getting completely fucked up for his graduation. Like
Well, I mean,
it
like
was
also you
awesome.
can just leave whenever you want. You're just I don't
Yeah,
have to be
exactly.
here.
Like we don't even really have to listen to other people's names or be
Oh,
quiet. Like we could just sit there and like if they're because in his graduation, like when it was his school, they did list off the names and everybody actually had like an individual like PowerPoint slide.
oh
And
really?
like,
Okay.
yeah, like they would have a PowerPoint slide. They'd read their name because it wasn't as many kids in his major, and they like
Right.
read the name and list off the achievements. And it was cool because you could either just ignore them or you could like make fun of them. You could be like, "Look at this fucking kid," you know what I mean? Like,
Well, that's what I was gonna have to say.
like,
I mean,
is that what you're wearing like a fanny pack on top of a mountain? What a fucking queer.
what a loser. Well, there was they had for my for this Malloy's graduation, they had a live comment feed where people just
Oh,
type in
that's
their
weird.
comments. And so, well, most people just wrote like, congratulations, Joe, and I know big things are going to happen for you. So I wrote subscribe to a podcast orange for everybody. And then
Yes,
and then I just started
that's how you market. That's
that's how
called
you market.
advertising.
Oh yeah, dude. Any chance you get, you gotta fucking advertise. But then also, I just started like trolling people. Like they would list off names like Raquel Gamboa. And I'd be like, Raquel, I bet you majored in taking up the ass every night and just fucking
Oh,
horrible.
I wish I knew so I could have done it with you. I would have commented some shit too. Like
Oh
this
yeah.
they're like listing off this one kid, like it's like Jack Johnson graduated from this college, and I just comment like I heard that kid said the N-word on like a Facebook video 10 years ago.
I should have included you. That would have been so much. I was just having the time of
Oh,
my life. Just like because it's these kids' favorite, like one of the biggest moments of their life, and and I'm sure their families also watching the comment feed and watching that. Like, we're so proud of you, and here I am just being an absolute troll, just being like, "Suck a fucking dick, kids," for no reason.
yes, you truly are. You truly are a soulless monster, Jack. But I would have, if you had told me and I could have joined in, I probably would have. So I'm
Oh,
not
that would have been
mad.
fun. That would have been so
That's
much fun.
and I'm saying that knowing that I like had my brother's graduation and like, obviously I know if that happened to us, like that would have been really shitty, but it's still hilarious to think of doing it to someone else.
Yeah, no, even if it was happening to you, it'd be like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, even honestly, if somebody started like commenting, like if it was they were just like reading off the names in my brother's graduation, someone started putting live comments, just like vaginal discharge, I would crack up. Like
that'd be fucking
I would
awesome.
It's like somebody commenting random shit like penis, like like he's like a Mad Lib, like an eighth grader. He's just like
Yeah,
asshole, pussy.
cock. Oh yeah, when you played Mad Libs as a kid and you would just write the worst thing. And today, Jerry bought two vaginas at the fair, and
Oh, you
but
ever done one? You ever done a Mad Lib where you literally just fill every single space with the word penis? Like
oh yeah,
just like the other day, I was walking down the penis when I looked over the penis and I saw the penis penising with penis.
see that back
It's
then
so
when you were
childish.
dude, when you were 13 years old, that was like the equivalent of like George Carlin level humor. That's
Oh,
like
yeah, when you were not like when you were like 9, like from ages 9 to 13, that was comedic gold. Like
Yeah.
just writing the word penis in the spaces on a Mad Lib. Like there was nothing funnier. Like you
Oh
and your
yeah.
friends could just do it for hours and you would like be gasping for air, tearing up laughing every time. Like
Because it was the funniest shit. Or
better
also
time.
we used to play on the voice Macintosh. We would just type in stuff like "I like to suck the pee out of my penis," and have things like "I like to suck the pee out of my penis," and just be bawling on the floor laughing.
You just put it on like you just typing like yeah, like I could see like a lot of white kids as a kid, like not saying I did this or anything, but I could just imagine like kids typing into a Macintosh just like the N word like 500 times, and then they just hit play, and it just starts saying it with like that Stephen Hawking voice.
Because then their parents
Just
are like,
over
"Hey,
and
don't
over.
say that." And be like, "I didn't say that. The computer said that.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't me; it was the fucking computer. What do you want? Like
Tell the computer."
I didn't say it. I have no control over it. It's like you literally typed it. I saw you type it.
Or
No, that wasn't me, bro. I don't know who typed this shit. I just walked in here. It wasn't me, bro.
we have a racist computer.
The computer, this computer is alt right.
Or did you ever like when you had substitute teachers? I did this in high school where like they didn't know when you'd have to write your name down because they didn't know your name, and you just write like Dick Hurts or something like that, and just so they could list it off.
I mean, no, I never really, because when I was in, I don't know, when I was in my school, like the subs would just get a roster, so they already knew the names.
Oh,
They would
okay.
just mispronounce them. But like, I remember, I did this going back to graduations. In my high school graduation, like when we were doing rehearsals, we're like all in the classrooms, and the woman's like asking me, she's like, "Could you just tell me how to pronounce your last name so that I don't get it wrong?" She's like, is it Crescenzo? And I knew that was wrong, but I was just like, yeah.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I said it, I kept saying it was fine for the whole week of like rehearsals. And then
Mhm.
when it came to the day of actual graduation, she was like, Crescenzo, right? And I was like, actually, it's Crescenzo, yeah. And she's like, you're gonna tell me that now? And I'm like, yeah, sorry. I just like I didn't really, I wasn't really listening the first 5 times.
You're just yesing her to death. I mean, also your friends are like giggling their ass off. Like, they said your name wrong.
No, it's just like I don't know. It really was. It was just kind of like a shitty thing to do, but for some reason, it felt funny to me.
Yeah, just
But
trolling this random woman. It was fun to fuck with the subs. Not
yeah.
gonna lie.
But anyway, I find it funny that like the as far as like the virtual graduations go, like I just find all this virtual shit so weird because anybody could be doing anything on the other end of those like cameras that are not turned on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you could have like I'm watching my brother's graduation and like I'm listening to his advisor and I see all the other Zoom screens with all these names and like the cameras are blocked and the mics are blocked and I'm just looking at the name and I'm like, what's going on over there? You know what I mean?
probably jerking it, being
Yeah,
like,
right. Like you makes you think that these people are like jerking off or like somebody's just like someone's like shooting up heroin on the other line. Like there's no reason to imagine that, but for some reason I do. Like
that'd be funny. The guy's like shooting up heroin, and he just types in the live comment feel like, "Congratulations, 40
his
S."
head his head slams on the keyboard and then it's just like
What do you think is gonna happen though with these kids that are just gonna be? Because next year too, like apparently, my mom, because she's a professor, she told me that Malloy's gonna have virtual classes, so it's gonna be a
I
lot
mean
different.
that's what teachers are doing already. Like they're not so I don't even know. Like I think some teachers are doing virtual classes, but I work with a girl who's like just graduated high school and she's like, yeah, we're not even really like some of our teachers don't even have classes. They're just sending me a bunch of worksheets and I just have to like finish them and it's
Yeah,
just like worksheets upon worksheets upon worksheets, just like on your computer at home, no human interaction, like no soul, like no fucking and just kind of weird. It's like you hear about like science fiction stories from like 20, 30 years ago that are written about a future exactly like that. And
yeah.
now it's just like, yeah, this is what we have to do.
That was
This is
kind of
just
like
it.
in 2001. They talked about that how everything would just be virtual and like there was no like there's no interaction, there's no humanity to it. I mean, you need to be in a classroom and you need to have that like face to face connection with teachers, especially the
I
ones that you
remember,
want to fuck.
yeah. Like I remember reading a story, like a short story in high school, and it was called I forgot what I think it was called like the fun they had, and it's just about like a kid who like this whole school day is just him sitting in front of like, and it's like keep in mind it was like written in the 50s, so it's him sitting in front of a computer, but it's him sitting in one of those like comedically large computers with like a bunch of buttons and like
Yeah.
tourniquets on it and like useless papers just being fed out of it, like, but yeah, whatever. He's being like taught by this computer every day, and he knows that in the past they used to have like in-person school. And he's just like, damn, like that was probably great. Like that was probably so much fun. I wish I could have been there for the fun they had. Like I have to fucking
Yeah.
sit at home and get taught by this fucking machine all day. I don't see any people all day, but like the kids got to go to school and like sit in a room together. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
It's,
on the other hand, though, for all the kids that like high school is just a miserable fucking experience and they don't have any friends and they get bullied, like
yeah,
that
I
might
mean,
be,
high school was shitty, but I would have rather gone to high school and have it had it been shitty, which I did. I'd rather
me
have
too.
that had that happen than like have been taught at home by a fucking screen.
I don't know though. I'm trying to think because, like, yeah, I fucking didn't like high school either. I mean, I had
I
friends.
hated it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
hated
hated
school
high
in general.
school, but
But
like,
now, like that, I think about like all these like it's just literally online schooling. It makes me think I took it for granted. Like these kids are just gonna have like these kids are gonna be complete like they're just going to be complete sociopaths. They're
they
going
have
to be
no
like
interaction. Yeah,
yeah,
because like,
technologically minded, like thinking about nothing but numbers and just like, oh, how many worksheets do I have to finish today? How many like things do I have to submit? How many like accounts do I have to create? It's just it's weird the future we're headed towards.
well, also like bullies too. Like in bullying in school, there's consequences because it's like you bully somebody, people see that, and you might see like, wow, that feels bad, you know. Like,
Yeah,
but if you do it online, there's no consequence. We're not gonna get like in trouble or
yeah.
anything. And I don't know. I there is definite like drawbacks,
I mean,
although it might be, you know.
2020 is the year that all bullying became cyberbullying.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's like
It's just
that.
like
It's
I'm sorry to interrupt you,
sorry.
but it's just kind of funny to think of like these kids in like a Zoom comedy class, and then another kid's like, "Bro, this class." He like starts like a private message with his friends. He's like, "Bro, this class sucks. Like, you want to start like a separate like Zoom like smoke sesh where we could just like smoke once instead of like going to the class. Like they're
Yeah,
just like
everybody has their
smoking
own
at
weed.
school even though they're not at school."
Yeah,
And
or like
then
there's
there's
Zoom
like
where people like fuck in the bathroom, you know.
Or there's like one like a bully like messages one like a kid that he bullies personally. He's like, "Bro, make a separate Zoom right now so I can call you a faggot."
Like he just says faggot virtually, but he puts like the a zero instead of the O and like just the
He
right.
puts like the star and the at sign instead.
Yeah, he's like, yo, sign on to the fucking Zoom right now so I can call you a
Yeah, I was
dweeb.
like, "Bro, stop being a pansy. Sign on to the Zoom right now so I can call you an F at sign
Or like his connection goes out,
990 plus."
or like his connection goes out, so he's like, you're a faggot.
Yeah, he is.
You're
He just has shitty internet. He's like he's a bully, but he's poor. That's why he picks on people whose internet shitty. Like,
He's like, I'm gonna kick you. Like,
he's
what? I
like,
didn't hear
"Don't you
you.
motherfucking fuck!" And the
The
kid's just
bully
getting
kid, like,
really-
wait, what? I can't hear you. He's like,
He's
I'm
like,
gonna
"I know.
kick you.
What are you saying?"
He's like, I'm gonna kick you.
Oh god.
Well, it's also like you know, like I saw this interview with Louis C.K. on Conan where he was talking about like how, you know, when you say things that are mean in person, you could feel bad because you could see the reaction of people's faces, but if you do that online, you don't have that interaction. You just sort of like, I don't know, you can just say
Well,
like,
yeah, it
you
makes
can
it
fucking die, and then
it
you
makes it
walk and feel bad because the person doesn't exist in your world. You can't see them. They might not even be
I
a
always
real
think
person.
it's weird because I feel I totally understand that like why that's the truth. Like it makes perfect sense because I think of like when I read like a YouTube comment, like, I don't know if you do this or other people do this, but every time I read a YouTube comment or a comment on anything on the internet in my head, it always has the same voice. Like,
Yeah.
never like I'm imagining an actual human being. I'm just imagining this disembodied voice saying this thing that I don't agree with. And I'm so instantly ready to be like, fuck you, you should suck a railroad spike and then yank your testicles out through your asshole. You like, and you know what I mean? It's just like, I feel nothing. But like, if I ever said that to a real human being, I would just be like, I could imagine like they would throw up. Like, I'd probably throw up. I'd be like,
Yeah, they'd be
Jesus.
like, dude, why would you say that? And be like, I'm sorry, like that was a little unnecessary. Well, it also brings out the worst in people because there are certain people who, like me and you both like, as people, like with the thing they're cool, but then you see their Facebook posts and they
Ooh,
just come off like complete fucking assholes, and
yeah.
you're just like, ugh, I don't like in real life, they're really nice people, and they're fun to be around. Um, and then like I'm thinking of one woman in particular, and I think you know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say their name because
It's always the women with you, Jack.
it's always I know I just misogyny. No, there's guys like that too, but I'm thinking of particular as one woman because I was thinking of one post where she says like, all you guys are just pieces of shit. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? Like, I saw you the other day. We had a perfectly nice conversation. And there are some guys like that too who post about the Trump stuff,
I
or
mean,
not even just
Jack,
that. They just post shitty things and they're just a completely different person. It's like an avatar.
Jack, she was the thing is that while you were having that nice conversation in your mind, she was just standing there looking at you thinking, this fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Fuck him. I'm just
I
gonna
wish you would
act
go
like we're
away
having
from
a
me
nice.
so I can rant about him on Facebook some more. Just
Could you imagine being that like could you imagine if it was literal and she actually like if you actually felt like men were all pieces of shit and then you had to have pleasant conversations with men on your day by day just to get by? Like
yeah.
how torturous of a mind frame. It's like you're just standing there like, oh yeah, the weather's nice. You know, I'm hoping the lockdown ends soon. Oh, this fucking piece of shit. I literally hope he kills himself. I want him to hang from the ceiling. Like, and it's just like, oh yeah, I saw that movie too. You know, it was good, I guess. Like, you know, I was maybe gonna go get some lunch. Jesus Christ, I hope this dude gets hit by a fucking car. I hope all men die.
I mean, that's pretty much how I feel about like most immigrants. No, I'm just kidding. Kidding. But kidding. I just
Oh,
had to use that as
see,
a
that should be
disclaimer
the
because
slogan.
fucking, you know.
That should be the slogan for this podcast. Just kidding in like all caps.
Because like I wouldn't usually say that, but then some people be like, wait, I had people ask me that have listened to this podcast, like, wait, do you really believe that like some of this? I'm like, dude, I'm most of the time I'm just fucking around here.
Have you really? I hope not. Listen, people, this is all just like in jest, off the cuff, trying to fuck around, joke, talk about bullshit. Please do not take any of this as literal beliefs. Like,
Yeah.
yes, like we will say our beliefs here, but if you're not a fucking like brain dead retard, you should be able to discern our actual beliefs between
It's real and
like
fake.
what we're just trying to fuck
Satire.
around.
Yeah,
Like,
people can't understand satire anymore.
Like
That's
if
the
you know
problem.
me and you know that I'm a person, you'll know when I'm telling the truth and you'll know when I'm just like fucking around trying to be funny, which is why when you hear me say that I like just disposed of a body or something, obviously you know I'm telling the truth. You guys know me. Like I would never lie to you.
Yeah, Tom kills people, and this is like his this is confession. Like his
No, but I
it all makes sense
anyway.
now.
But I think it's kind of like it is just kind of sad how much like all the virtual shit and how just social media really consumes everybody's lives and like forces people to try to validate themselves through like I'm sick of seeing all these mic drop posts that people
Oh,
do.
yeah,
You know
on
what I mean?
Twitter.
Like Twitter, Facebook, you name it. Just all these posts
Yeah.
that like if you don't know what I mean, it's just like any post.
Hot
Somebody's
take. Hot take, guys.
It's like welcome to the no spin zone here on the podcast. I'm your host, Tom O'Reilly. And on the other line is Jack Tucker Carlson.
Facts don't care about your feelings, guys. This is reality. I hate that shit when you see people's like they post things and they you can just tell they're folding their arms afterwards, like, ha, that'll show them. Just fucking,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
I just hate when people post things where it's like 3 sentences and you read what it's saying. A, it's not backed up by any fact. B, it's like mostly incoherent. And C, it's like, yeah, it sounds good, but does it really even make sense? But people will post this shit, and this is the shit that goes viral. Like, this is what people will share, and it gets like thousands of likes and retweets. It's like, did I really need to see this fucking shitty ass take on universal healthcare? Like,
Well, I think the problem is that it wouldn't be so bad except for I think like the media encourages this kind of behavior because you see a lot of news outlets where it will like not just like fringe outlet, like major news outlets that will post things about how random assholes on Twitter feel with like 5 followers, and post people's tweets in these articles like Jim 69 chicks says that blah 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 blah, and then people will see
yeah.
that like, holy shit, man, my tweet was in this article, and so they'll try to come up with these mic drop moments because they want to go viral and they want to be in the media, and it's like these people's opinions don't matter. They're not. These people aren't important. It's certainly not newsworthy. Why are we seeing these random people in there? And everything is reduced to these. Everything is reduced to like these binary, simple-minded, easy to digest, like lowest common denominator type opinions. It's fucking lame.
And it's just like it's never even fun. Like, I'm just sick of seeing these shit. You'll see some shit on Twitter. So it's just like, let me make this perfectly clear. If you don't believe that eating meat is literally murder, you're a terrible person. And it's just like, it's like literally like 5,000 likes, like 600 retweets. It's like, really? 5,000 people saw that and they were like, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, it's also
You're not even saying like, you're not even coming out with something that says, hey, like we should actually look about how our consumption of meat affects our lives, or like, hey, maybe the meat packing industry truly is unethical. You're just like, meat eaters bad.
yeah.
Me good and smart.
Yeah, everything is so binary and like one dimensional. It's like you said, it's all like this bad, this good, and everything is so declarative and so definitive, and so it just like it's all hyperbole.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
it's always stupid.
yeah.
Even when it's trying to be funny. Like, I'm sick of, like, all the white woman bashing. It's getting old. Like, we get it. White women can be insufferable, but it's not like, it doesn't count as like comedic talent to go on Twitter and just be like, hey, you ever been talking to a white person and counting down to when she's going to say something racist? Like,
Yeah.
you really think you think that's funny? Like, it's not. And I'm not even saying that because like I feel bad for white women. I could give a shit about white women.
I am a
Really?
white
No, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying I feel bad for white women. I'm just saying it's like I'm sick of all this unoriginal shit. Like,
yeah.
that people, and it just makes me sad to see that so many people truly are empty inside.
Well, also, it's not even it's what you said with like the white bashing. Most of the time, it's not even black people that are doing that. It'll be like woke white people who are trying to like get black people to be like, oh, this guy right here,
Yes.
he knows what he's talking about. It's all bullshit because it's a
Exactly.
way of like it's a way of trying to sound edgy without not having any risk involved. Because nobody's gonna be like, hey man, you can't say that about white people. It's like it's such tame humor that it's like a way of like, wow, man, look how risque I am criticizing white people. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
you're not taking any risk in doing that. You're just trying to sound woke and you're lame. And most of the time, black people that see that, I know I'm just speaking for them, but I can imagine some people are just rolling their eyes like these people are fucking pathetic. Like they
I'm
think
sure. Yeah.
you think
I mean,
that's what we really want is, it's just sad. Like
any white person who says that they hate like being white does not know. Like, you do not know what you're talking about. Like, you're retarded. Like, obviously you don't hate being white. Like, if you literally hated being white, you would actually hate yourself and you would kill yourself. Like,
most
that's
people
the thing. It's not, like, people will say these things because they just like want like. And I'm not saying you should take pride in being white. I'm not saying you should take pride in anything, frankly. But like,
I mean, we are the superior race.
no. I mean, of course, no one would deny that. No.
True. Bad Jack.
Bad Jack. Bad Jack Siegel. Bad Jack Siegel. You need to change your ways.
I gotta get woker,
Okay?
man.
Obviously,
Gotta
you
wake
meant
up.
to say Jews.
Yes, we have the biggest brains and we control the media.
Yo, I mean, I don't, speaking of which, could you like change some of like the reception of like could you imagine like talking like if a guy went up to a Jew and tried to get him to change something in the media? Like
Like,
he was
hey
just
man, do
like
you mind if you make white people look better? Because
yeah, right, like a
here's the
guy
thing is like I
just
get
walks
that,
up to he just walks up to like this Hasidic Jew in the streets of like Brooklyn or something, and he's just like, "Hey man, like I don't want to bother you. Like I know you're probably busy, but do you guys think that you could like ease up on the whole like hating white people thing in the media?" And he's just like, "What? What are you talking about?" And he's
what
like,
do
"No,
you
I'm just
I don't
asking, like,
speak
man."
English, motherfucker. Like, what do you do? Well, also the thing about like, and I get like, dude, there's a lot of like bad fucking white people because I just saw that video of the people that shot that Ahmaud Arbery person. I'm like, Jesus, dude,
Oh,
that
I
was
mean,
that was fucked up.
I
But like,
couldn't even. That's like one of those things I couldn't even like riff on. There's like
yeah, no,
nothing.
that's so fucked up. But here's the thing: is that like you're not doing anything for anybody when you're like, I hate white people. You're not doing it for black people. You're just doing it to make yourself feel better because you're like trying to take off this imaginary sense of guilt. There's no sense of being guilty. Why are you feeling guilty for being white? Nobody chooses what race they were born as. And also, it's just like if you really want to make everything better, just stop, just like chill out, just be natural, joke around with each other. We joke around, be like,
And
you can
stop
make,
trying to impress your black friends,
yeah,
okay?
joke around with them about
If
being
they
black.
like you, they'll hang out with you. You don't need to impress them by
Yeah,
trying to make yourself seem not racist every 10 minutes.
because no matter what, they'll still think you're racist anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, no matter what. I like to think there's a scenario where like a dude is like it's like an SNL skit where like a dude is just trying way too hard not to be like racist around his black friend. And like black friends they're just like walking around like outside and he sees like a fruit vendor and he's like the white guy's just like, "Oh yeah, those watermelons." Not that I had any reason to bring that up or anything. I'm just saying the guy's selling watermelons. Like I might get one. I don't know. I like watermelons. Not that not that it's weird that I like watermelons for being white or anything. And then his black friend's just like, dude, relax. Like
Yeah,
I've always known you're racist.
exactly. You don't have to try to not be racist, man. Well, you all know you are. Well, it's like inadvertently being racist. And I just feel like people like that. See, I feel bad for those like the white guilt people because I know some people and they seem just so exhausted all the time. It's
I
gotta
just
be
feel like
so
when
just
yeah,
stressful
I
having to
just feel like when people say that they hate being white, they don't really mean what they're saying.
no, they're full of
Like
shit.
if you actually hated being white, you would actively want to change, which
Yeah.
means you would probably wear blackface, which would make you more racist than most people who you think are racist. So like
Or you'd be like Rachel Dolezal and think that you're like a black woman.
yeah, or you'd be like Elizabeth Warren and just claim that you're Native American because 0.00067% of your DNA has it.
Elizabeth Warren, or as her Native American name says, loses election.
Loser, Elizabeth Warren, Eluz, lose a bet. I don't. I'm trying too hard
Yeah,
here.
like the Dances with Wolves, she just loses election. I am Elizabeth Warren, or as they call me, loses home state.
I am Elizabeth Warren,
That's not
or
bad.
or as they call me, really dry pussy.
Fucking, what were we
I am
talking about?
Elizabeth Warren, or as they call me, Sabotage Bernie.
Yeah, fuck her. She fucked
No,
up Bernie's chances. But anyway,
yeah.
we're talking about Twitter, and the thing that's annoying about Twitter is that I just feel like like we were saying before is how people just are so mean, and we're constantly everybody's looking for somebody to criticize. Like, you ever see
Well,
this hashtag? Like, this is a common hashtag on Twitter. Insert celebrity's name is over party, and it'll just be like for any minor offense. They're like, fuck this guy. I'm never I'm not supporting
Yeah,
this.
yeah, it's like the cancel hashtag. It's like hashtag cancel blank or like hashtag,
Yeah.
this is just like like as soon as like the Ari Shafir thing happened with Kobe Bryant, like I instantly started seeing like hashtag cancel Ari, like, and it's just like, dude,
Yeah.
like,
First off,
but
what
whatever.
are you gonna
I mean,
cancel from?
yeah, at this point, there's nothing to get canceled because we're in the middle of a plandemic.
Yeah, but also in the middle of a plan that before I get into that though, I was going to say like, how are you gonna cancel Ari Shafir anyway? Like, what has he got that's so big? He doesn't.
Yeah,
He's not,
they're just gonna cancel him from Joe Rogan. Like they're just gonna They're gonna send all these angry letters to Joe Rogan, just like you need to not have Ari Shafir on anymore. And Joe's just like, he's just like stoned. He's like, I don't know, I'm fucking too high to handle this. Ari, I don't think you can come on the show anymore.
yeah, you're gonna
What the
cancel
fuck,
this.
Rogan?
I'm gonna cancel this C-list comedian. Like, okay.
I'm gonna cancel this guy who has one 2-part Netflix special.
It's like you're really doing a lot there. But yeah,
like, oh no, I can't. Where were you when you saw the fall of the massive career that was Ari Shafir's comedy career? All 5 feet off the ground, toppling down. No, but I mean, he's bigger than like. He's probably bigger than I'll ever be, but whatever. Oh, yeah. I like Ari Shafir, not to shit on him. But let's get into the next thing because we're running a long time, and we should probably only spend like 10 minutes on.
Yeah, we'll talk about the more Twitter shit, cancel whatever later. Tom, why don't you bring it up the fucking Plandemic?
So yeah, I don't know if you guys heard. There's a plan out there to cause.
The Plandemic, man.
The Plandemic, bro. Yeah, bro, it's a pandemic. It's the plan to cause the pandemic.
Dude, it's like pandemic. That's what the people that made that YouTube video. For those of you who don't know, there's like a YouTube video that got taken down called Plandemic, and I just imagine the person coming up with that was just like getting high, be like, dude, man, it's like pandemic, but it's
just
like
a bunch of stoners. Just a bunch of stoners sitting around, like, just coming up with all these conspiracy theories about the pandemic. It's like, bro, what if, like, Dr. Fauci is in on it? Bro,
dude,
it's a genius. Bro, it should be a movie. It should be a movie. Dude, we'll call it Plandemic.
It's just like pandemic, except it's a plandemic, and the other guy's like, bro, that's fucking genius, man.
And the one guy who just like sort of like he hasn't even been listening. He just sort of came back and he's like, "Wait, what's going on?" They're like, "Bro, we're making a movie about Plandemic," and he's just like, "That's genius, bro."
Like, bro, that's what I said, man. Bro, I would honestly listen to that. I would honestly listen to that documentary, watch that movie, if the guy who narrated just spoke like that. So,
yeah, right. Like the whole time he's like, "Bro," and like. Dr. Fauci may have known that there could have been a vaccine already. It's fucking crazy.
Dude, man, YouTube's gonna take this video down, man. And then they're saying like, yo, they just say in the middle, like, holy shit, I'm fucking baked. What was I talking about?
Yeah, you just like hear like it's like a bunch of footage of like the Pentagon and you just hear like his bong ripping. It's like oh, dude, this is like the part where they sign the order that issues the Plandemic. Bro, oh my god, I'm fucked up right now. I took a Xan earlier. Oh, this dude, the pandemic.
Like, wait, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so I was saying that fuck, I'm high. Holy shit. You guys want to order Domino's right now?
Bro, you can't order Domino's because of the coronavirus, but then again, it's really just made up. It was
because of the Plandemic.
It's been a plan, so maybe we can't order Domino's. Get that shit.
Maybe they eventually find a pizzeria in the middle of the documentary to be like, so anyway, they had President Trump say, hi, I'd like to order 2 cheese pizzas. You guys want garlic knots?
He's like, so anyway, Trump had a briefing on the 18th of February about... Oh, hold on. No, you can keep the change, bro. Thank you. So anyway.
They just... they're constantly stumbling over each other.
Just high as fuck narrating over the video.
They're just constantly like stumbling over what they're about to say because that's
Yeah,
what it
they're like,
sounds like. It just sounds like a dumb stoner. Like
well, yeah, because like I haven't watched it and I haven't really read up on it, but from what I can gather, it's just a documentary that's like the whole point of it is just like, bro, this coronavirus shit is sketchy. Like that's basically the documentary summarized. Like you don't even need to watch it; you already know what happens. Like
yeah,
it's just shit about how fat Dr. Fauci's like a shady motherfucker, and like how like they always wanted to control us. They always wanted to keep the man down.
they always want to. It's all a plan, man. I don't.
It's
I
just a
know.
plan. That's why we called it Plandemic. We came up with that name. It's so fire, bro. I'm
Oh,
so high.
genius. Dude, that's why. Oh man, I'm gonna make so much money off of this. Well, I like how
Bro.
people like will say, I'll be like, they'll be like, "Hey man, do you believe this is just like a hoax?" And I'll say like, "No," and then they'll be like, "What do you just believe everything you watch on YouTube?" Like, wasn't that what you just did? Like, you just fucking watched it. You just fucking conspiracy video, and now you're taking that as fact without doing any sort of like research into the background at all.
Not only are you doing that, you're taking a conspiracy theory video off of YouTube at face value as fact, and the title is Plandemic.
Like, shouldn't the title make you think like this is a fucking joke? It sounds
Like
like a
not even like it's not even something that's trying to sound legit, like the truth about the coronavirus or what you really should know about the coronavirus. It's literally just like, bro, it's all part of the plan.
yeah,
Damn it.
it's all just a big conspiracy, man. And
It's
people
like here we have scientist Judy Mikovits here. Judy, what do you have to say about the coronavirus? Bro, I'm way too high. I don't even remember if I'm actually a doctor.
Corona, that sounds great, man. Let's get a 12-pack. Well, also
They're just like,
the thing about this is that is weird is that it's like a Dunning-Kruger effect where people will watch this and then they think they're like smarter for this and they'll like lecture people about a conspiracy video that they
and
just
then they'll not wear face masks and they'll go out and they'll say that people shouldn't have to worry and they'll like fucking cause more infections to spread because they watched a fucking video made by stoner retards
yeah.
about how the pandemic is a fucking conspiracy. It's just like, here's the thing. I am no stranger to conspiracies, okay? I believe certain conspiracies, okay? I believe 9/11 was an inside job.
I believe
I believe
Epstein was killed.
I believe Ronald Reagan literally caused the crack epidemic.
Yeah,
I've been there. I get it.
Epstein was killed. Let's not forget
Yeah.
about good old Jeff.
Oh, of course, we can't forget about Heffy, but
My
either
boy
way, it's like there's a limit, and like when you
Yeah.
get to a point where you're making a movie and the only working title you have is Plandemic, you should just take a minute to like look in the mirror and ask yourself, like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want my name to be attached to something this stupid forever?
And also, it's like people. I gotta be honest. This whole thing of like the corona's brought out the worst of people. Like I have friends, people that I legitimately had respect for, that I lost. All like I saw them post on Facebook like, dude, I saw this documentary. You gotta check it out. And I'm like, oh man, I really wish you didn't do that because I lost just like so much respect for you. Like if you legitimately believe like, this pandemic stuff, you're an idiot. You are just an absolute fucking idiot. And I don't
I mean,
care.
I believe that the government is sketchy. I definitely believe the government is sketchy, but it's like if you believe that like in this whole like they're like Dr. Fauci's like trying to use it for his own personal gain because he's this evil master. It's like
Or
who
Bill
the fuck even was this guy like 3 months ago? You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
and it's all I don't know.
Or Bill Gates. It's all people need to stop buying into conspiracy theories. I mean, I get that.
Bro, Bill Gates.
It's all a pandemic. Bill Gates, man. He's like he's gating the coronavirus vaccine for himself.
Yeah, he's gating the coronavirus vaccine for him and his kids only.
He calls himself Bill Gates,
And
man.
he invented a version of the virus where he got to isolate it from the autism. So it doesn't give you autism like normal vaccines.
Like, because that, But also, I wonder if I wish the protesters, like the ones in our hometown of Comac, sounded like that. Like
Oh
if
fuck,
we
oh
drove
man.
by them and they're like, "Bro, we gotta reopen the economy, man," but instead they just sound like angry fucking assholes.
I mean, some of them probably like the adults are not like Comac is a very right wing town, so the adults are not smoking weed. But some, if their kids are there, some of them are probably high. Like I can
Yeah.
imagine you could go up to if you were like a news reporter and you wanted to interview someone at like the Comac like lockdown protest. Just
Mhm.
look for like the fucking stone teenager who's like sitting off to the side. Like just walk up to him, just be like, "Hey, what do you think of all this?" And he'll just be like, "Bro, it's all just a big plan."
And then
It's
the
like if
reporter's like,
it's
"Bro, man, really?"
yeah, the reporter's just like, "Bro, really? Like, is it a plan?" And he's like, "Yeah. Have you ever seen Plandemic?"
Like, "Dude, I gotta
And the
watch
reporter's
that,
like, "Yeah,
man."
I'm gonna
I
watch that shit, broski hoski."
Dude, I bet that we could make a fake conspiracy theory video, and I think we should try to do that and try to pass it off as like legitimate and just make it as stupid as possible. And I
I,
guarantee you there'll be people like have a catchy
I
sort of
wanna,
clickbait title, and there'll be people that believe it.
I wanna. This will be like what the last thing, like I say, but I would love to if we were to do that. I would love to make a fake, like a really super convincing, like I mean, like really fucking like grade A Michael Moore level convincing shit. Like
Yeah.
I would love to make a really convincing conspiracy theory video about a like just the idea that the whole pandemic is a conspiracy to isolate old people from the rest of society so that they could be alone, so that Lizzo could get the chance to eat them. That's what
It'll be called
that is the conspiracy I want to put out there. And I want it to be so detailed. Like I want every possible crack filled. I want people to believe this.
Yeah, and we'll have like a pun, like a clickbaity pun title, and I guarantee
Yeah.
you it'll get a lot of shares, and some of my friends will be like, "Dude, this thing is legitimate. You gotta see." I bet YouTube will take it down, and like
Yeah,
when
right.
YouTube does take it down, we gotta see like, "See, I told you. They all want. They're all part of the machine."
Yeah,
Lizzo's
just like Lizzo's controlling us. Lizzo's in with YouTube and they're all controlling us. She doesn't want us to know that she wants to fucking eat the old people.
Lizzo Illuminati be like Eliza or something.
Or
That's really fucking
Illuminati or Lizona virus.
Lizona virus.
Virus. And it's just like it's like someone photoshops like her face onto like a microscopic like image of the virus, but it's
And
like
if she
really
tries to sue us, we'll be like, "Well, can you prove that you don't eat old people?" Ha! Checkmate. Just
It's like you certainly can't prove based on your body mass that you can't fit old people inside of you. So
where are they? Where are the old people, Lizzo? Where
where
are you?
are they? Let's go. All right, okay, that might that might have to be it.
All right. Any last words, Tom?
Yes, don't fall for the plan, bro.
Yeah, don't fall for the plandemic.
Also, that I just wanted to say that.
I just want to
And
say,
Lizzo, let our old people go.
let our old people go.
Can't keep the economy closed just because you want to eat as many live human beings older than 60 as you can.
Yeah,
You
I would.
disgusting. All right, I'm sorry.
I would say that. I would say, Lizzo, you need to stop eating old people. Just remember, guys, that Muhammad was a pedophile, and
And that Gandhi was a rapist. Remember that too. remember,
asterisk.
let's just try to think of as many prophets we could possibly like bring to shame. Remember that remember
Jesus
that
and
all of
Moses
the
were
founding
gay with each
fathers, remember that all the founding fathers were slave owners.
other. Jesus and Moses were gay with each other. They sucked each other's dicks in the desert.
And Jesus would suck Moses's dick while drawing a picture of him.
While drawing a picture of Muhammad as
Oh no,
Muhammad,
yeah, Muhammad. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
as Muhammad fucking a 10-year-old behind him.
Sucking Muhammad off while drawing 3 pictures of him, like.
All the prophets can all fuck their mothers. That's what we want to say. Fuck all the
Oh,
prophets.
I would love to like. I would love to just like. It's like I'm just imagining this porno for like a Muslim dude. who like is his fetish is drawing the prophet, but he can never get away with it. And then finally he finds like a porn website where it's like, oh yeah, you're ready to draw that prophet.
Ready to draw Maaaaan.
You're ready to draw the prophet.
Or
And he's like, yeah, draw that prophet, yeah.
do it. Or it's a three-way between Jesus, Moses, and Muhammad just fucking getting it on with each other.
They're just fucking each other relentlessly, just like in the mouths and asshole, and like, like fucking Muhammad is like using a crucifix to like penetrate Jesus's ass.
Meanwhile, Oprah's promoting this on her show.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
Oh,
guys.
okay. That was well.
That was that took a left turn at the end there.
Yeah, it was a fun way to end.
Holy shit!
All right. Okay, thank
that's
you
good
for
enough.
listening to Podcast Orange.
Yep, this is a podcast Sarge. See you guys next week.
Have a good night, everybody.